Hello everybody, welcome back to my layout. In this video I'm going to start with the modeling of the rolling drawbridge. As explained in the previous video, this will be in part based on an existing bridge kit, and in part it will be a scratch build. So what you are seeing here is part of the existing bridge kit that I have glued together. So this will serve as more or less the underlying frame of the bridge. So this is taken from, let me show you here, from this kit over here. Now the rest of the bridge will be scratch built on top of this. And to show you what I'm planning to do, let's go to my desk and where I've made a drawing that will explain what I will be doing in terms of scratch building. Alright, so this is the drawing that I made. To explain what is what, first of all, this part here, which is drawn in red, that's the frame that I just showed you, and which is coming from the existing bridge kit. So that has been glued together already. Now the parts that are drawn in blue here, that's the specific parts that will make it a rolling drawbridge. That part I will have to scratch build. And so the idea is to cut out these parts from a plastic card and then glue that on top of this framework. Now before cutting things out of plastic card, I will try it out and see if it works by using some paper card. To test it out, I've cut out some of the parts from card. So those are these two parts here. Another part that I've cut out from card is this piece here. That is for now going to serve as the deck of the bridge. And then the idea to test it is to glue these parts onto the card deck and then build further from there. Right, so as you can see, I have glued together a couple of parts here. All of the parts are cut out from paper card, and it's all glued to the deck of the bridge. And so then the idea is that this will be placed on top of the framework, like that. And then this is what it looks like placed on the layout itself. And I think that should be working quite nicely. So the idea is that this will roll like this and then up like that. So that's how I plan to construct it. Alright, to give you an idea of the dimensions, I've placed this coach on top of the bridge. Obviously this will not be a bridge for trains, but rather for cars. But this is just to give you an impression of the dimensions. I think I will make it not as tall as this one. So maybe I'll just reduce the height by a centimeter or so. The other thing I'll probably be doing is this edge here, I will not cut it out from the plastic card, because as you can see, you don't really see the underlying framework, and I would like that. I would like to have a better view on the underlying framework actually, so I will not have this in place when I make it from plastic card. So this is the plastic card that I will be using for the scratch build. It's a polystyrene sheet from Evergreen Scale Models, and as you can see, it has a thickness of 3/4 of a millimeter. It's actually quite thick, and I think it should be thick enough to give a robust enough structure on the bridge. So I have cut out the deck of the bridge from plastic card and glued it to the frame of the bridge. Right, so the next step is to cut out the rest of the construction for the bridge. So those are the blue parts on this drawing again. As you can see, I've scribbled some more measurements. So for example here, this was the original height that I had in mind, but I'm going to reduce it a bit, as I mentioned. Also this height here will, because this will sort of be like a girder bridge extended along the entire frame of the bridge. So this height I have decided will be 1.1 centimeters, which in real life would correspond to a height of about a meter. And then, so the entire length of the bridge will then be 70.7 centimeters. So I've drawn that onto some paper card. So I'm sort of going to use this as a template. So there's more lines than I actually intended to draw, especially here. So initially I had a width of 1 centimeter, and I think that's a little bit too wide, so I made it a little bit narrower. But anyway, so this is what I will cut out and use as my template. Now I have cut out the main parts of the bridge. So here's the paper template cut out from card, and there's still painter's tape on it because I used that to fix it to the plastic card when I was cutting out the pieces. And as you can see, I ended up with two identical pieces that will then be glued on the deck of the bridge on either side. So next, to glue these parts on the deck of the bridge, I have first glued polystyrene I-beams on the deck of the bridge. So that's what I've done here. So the I-beams are also from Evergreen Scale Models. So the idea is that these parts will sort of slide in place here, and that will give it a bit more strength when I glue it on the bridge. So the main structure has been glued to the deck of the bridge now, and that appears to have worked quite nicely. So if I show you like this, and then I don't know if you can see it, but I think it looks quite nice. So then there's still these strips here, so those I will glue around and all the way up to the top here, so that makes a quite nice rounding here. So that's the next thing I'll be doing. So this is the bridge on the layout. I have also glued the strips on the back side around the back and up here, and I've actually bent it around here and down to there. So that is glued in place as well. I will continue gluing these strips on all the edges, but I will do that in the next video. I think I'm gonna call this a wrap for now.